G'day guys, MAT5 here, and today I'll be reviewing Watch Dogs. So Watch Dogs is an open world, third-person shooter with unique hacking abilities that I reviewed on PlayStation 4. So the plot of Watch Dogs is that you play as Aiden Pierce, and he's this almighty smart-ass hacker that uses his smartphone to, hack everything. And pretty much what happens is that he did some sort of job, I think, and he ends up trying to, take his family to safety, his sister and his sister's kids. But on the way, they end up getting intercepted by these bad guys, and stuff happens, and, the niece dies. So Aiden, goes on this revenge sort of filled story, but it's kind of... Okay, as you can tell, I'm sort of a bit confused about the plot. The plot is a bit unexplainable. Like, it doesn't really... I don't think this game sets itself up very well. Like, when I say this, Aiden Pierce is just not a very well-developed character. This game sort of throws you into the middle of everything, and you don't get what's going on and what this character's motivations are. For some reason, he's bashing up this guy. For some reason, he's doing this. For some reason, he's doing that. It doesn't really explain or, it doesn't take that time to develop the character or anything. It just sort of throws you into it, and tries to tell you throughout the game. But that doesn't always work, and for me, it didn't work. I like a very simple, well-told story, but this game just sort of threw all these random characters at me and just expected me to know who they were. You may know the plot better than me, but that's how I came out of this game. Just sort of, okay, that guy's a bad guy. No, wait a second, is he? Oh, stuff like that. Aiden Pierce as a character, he's alright. I mean, he could have been better, but, like I said, the way that he's shown off in this game, it's just sort of, his actions are just questionable, and I don't get why he does a few things. In the story, there's no sort of multiple, questions or anything, branching paths. It's just a linear story, and you pretty much, you question his actions. But besides Aiden Pierce, there's a few other characters. There's the sister, there's Clara, there's T-Bone. These are all sort of characters you meet throughout the game. I mean, but they're nothing special. I mean, I didn't really feel for anyone. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about the way this game is shown off. Like, it's just, I didn't really feel connected to really any of these characters. I mean, T-Bone was entertaining. Clara was, she was interesting. It felt like, she had something about her. But in the end, I just sort of, the characters weren't, really, you're supposed to care about some of these characters, and you just kind of don't. But yes, enough about the plot, okay? I don't really know what was going on with the plot, or get it, or anything. So, let's just move on to something else. So like I said, this is an open world game. You're able to ride bikes, drive boats, and cars. There's no flying vehicles in this game, but that's understandable, because it's not really it's a very packed city. I mean, that's the one thing I can say, is that the city is really well made, and the people are really well, brought to life in this game. I really like how trash just flies in the wind, and there's actually even a bush area, which I thought was really good. I thought the bush area was it was really atmospheric, and it felt like a really, country sort of place. GTA 5 had a open country place, but it was so massive, and there was nothing really in it. But this area was just small, and it had a lot of personality in it. So Aiden Pierce is a hacker, and you can use his smartphone to hack all sorts of different things, and you can even use it as a personnel file thing, where you can sort of highlight people and see what their job is, and their income and stuff like that. And you can use it to sometimes steal credit card information to get money, and some other bonus things that you could find, like music and stuff to make hacking tools, I think. Yeah, one thing, when I first got into this game and I got into the open world, I got very kind of overwhelmed, because I didn't actually quite know what I was supposed to do with all this stuff. But eventually, you get used to it, and you understand this is that sort of thing. So is the hacking tool a one-trick pony in this game? Pretty much. This game has two things going for it: the detailed, life-filled world, and the hacking abilities. The city of Chicago is probably one of the highlights of this game. I mean, it's got so much personality, and the characters have so much personality. Everyone feels like, like they're full of personality, every character in the city. So with the hacking abilities, you're able to like hack all sorts of different things within the city, but I felt that this is sort of like the basic system of something that could be great. Very much simple hacking gameplay. It's one button to do all sorts of different things, but it doesn't give you options. I would have really liked options. With traffic lights, the only thing you can do is make them go green, so all the traffic like causes this collision. But why can't you? It would be good if you had the, ability to, like, make them start or stop, red or green, It didn't really have that detail that I would have really liked from a hacking game. And another thing I'd like to talk about is that the gameplay in this game, it's sort of... the trailers leading up to this game... If you've played Assassin's Creed, the very first Assassin's Creed game gave me this sort of, idea that it was going to be kind of like Hitman... In the old days, you were able to do whatever you want to get to your target. But in that game, it was actually really linear, and I was seriously disappointed about that. The same thing happens with Watch Dogs. I was expecting to, go into a building and find my way around it. Hack different things to try and get to different areas and do different things. It's seriously not like that at all. It's a very linear path throughout the entire game. And that is seriously disappointing. It just felt like it was seriously, underdeveloped, and it could have been a lot better. More fleshed out, pretty much, And not to say that the hacking is horrible. Like, the hacking is actually really useful in places. You can use it to stop pursuers. You can use it to help you take down enemies, and just little things like that. It just helps overall. Everything else about this game is great. I mean, the gunplay is really solid. You can take cover. I like the covering system. You can it's a one-button cover system. You can tap to go to different covers and stuff like that. What else is in the game? I like the running animation in this game. It's sort of like a parkour sort of, running system. He jumps off things to get over fences, stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the only sort of, good things I can think about this game. The hacking is good, but it could have been way better. The world is so, like, greatly detailed, but it felt like they put too much detail in that and not as much in, like, the gameplay. Because, side quests can get repetitive, main quests can even get repetitive. It doesn't do anything new. Like, with these hacking abilities, it doesn't create this awesome new gameplay. It's just, this game doesn't set up its own sort of personality for itself. And it's not a very rewarding game either. I mean, there is a leveling system, but it looked awesome when I first played, but I got them very, very quickly. Like, I ended up leveling up most of my skills before I did most of the main game. And as soon as you get most of your hacking abilities, pretty much everything else is pretty much standard stuff that you've seen in all other games, and it's not very great, Leveling up just became, like... It wasn't like an awesome thing. You weren't like, I have to get to the next level to get this awesome thing, I also didn't like how going through the main game, you don't unlock anything awesome to keep you going. In most games, it sort of keeps throwing you like a new weapon or a new ability or a new this, a new that. This game did none of that whatsoever, pretty much. You don't get anything new as you pursue through the main game. And that was seriously disappointing, and I just found, I feel like I'm ranting too much about this game. It's just something about this game. It had potential. This game had a lot of potential, but it didn't live up to it. Sure, they showed off a detailed world. That's what they've accomplished. But, in terms of gameplay, they do pretty much absolutely nothing new, nothing to keep you going. I mean, in the end, I wasn't really, I was just playing it to sort of finish it to do this review. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't do anything special for me. There was some parts within the game where it was like, yes, that's awesome, but it didn't do it enough. Side missions are repetitive. There is pretty much one puzzle in this game which is used over and over and over and over and over again for every single hacking thing in this game. There's like no variety in that. It's just, there's no variety. Where is the variety? I know it feels like that I'm really bad-mouthing this game, and I probably am. But, there are parts I enjoyed, but it's just, I think the cons sort of outweigh the pros for this game. It's just sort of, it needed to do something new, and unfortunately I don't think it did. Yeah, so when I think about it, this game just didn't really impress me, like, much at all. Sure, the hacking's cool, but it's not as fleshed out as I was hoping to be, and the main missions aren't as great as I was thinking it was going to be. it's disappointing. I'm really disappointed because everything else about the game was so solid. The driving, the shooting, it's just. I feel sad. I mean, I was. I mean, they sold a lot of games. Apparently, they sold about 8 million copies of this game. If they ever make Watch Dogs 2, I hope they sort of, take this sort of, and make it its own identity. Do something with it. You've got this awesome hacking ability, and you didn't utilize it, like, as much as you could have. Give us choice. Give us, I feel like the biggest nagger in this review. I think it's just I was really looking forward to this game, and it sort of let me down as much as the first Assassin's Creed did, and it's seriously disappointing. I mean, the linear gameplay and not doing anything excitingly new. It's unfortunate. Give us things to unlock, give us exciting main missions, not just the same crap we've done over and over again. Give us some, really interesting hacking missions, not just the same puzzle over and over again that we have to solve, and, stuff like that. I'm saying a lot again. Because Thinking about now, I don't think I can give this game more than a 6 out of 10. It's just... It didn't give itself its own sort of, I don't think it puts its foot down in the sort of, games have done it a lot better. They have. This game doesn't set itself out any more than any other open world game has before, really. I mean, the hacking ability is great, but it's seriously, not used to its full potential in this game. I'm sorry for dissing this game so bad. It's just, I wasn't expecting to be honest, but, reflecting back on it, it's just sort of, you start to realize, that it didn't really do anything special. And I apologize for that, but, if the game doesn't impress me, it doesn't impress me. So what did you guys think of Watch Dogs? Did you think it was a seriously overrated game, overhyped and stuff like that? Leave me a comment down below and let me know, because I'm interested to see what you guys think. And remember to like me on Facebook and subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see more. Alright guys, thanks for watching my review. I'm sorry if it was such a ranting review, but it just sort of came out. Alright, until next time, MHC5 is bloody out of here.